Welcome to Declutters Delight for Life, and tonight is about decluttering opens 3 positive ways to see yourself. Oh, how many times do we want to see ourselves as positive? I know I want to see myself as positive. Right now, where I'm coming from is we're having some rainstorms and thunder, and some of that kind of brings back memories to when I was younger. And sometimes as a kid you hear thunder and you hide under the bed, or all sorts of numerous things. And but to me, thunder, we always were told that God was up there and they were rumbling around or doing something of other means. But I guess to bring things to think about positive things and happy things as a kid is that I like my little critters up here. They remind me of positive things, and that we can each have a little kid inside of us, and that it can open the air to positive things. And I'd like to think of this is something I found that I thought you might guys enjoy seeing is something that life is better when you're laughing. I think that's a great thing. If you want to think about positive ways to have life is to be laughing. Life's too short, as far as I'm concerned, not to laugh at all. Is that for me, having gone through life itself and having it almost squashed on several different occasions, that life itself is very precious, and I'm even trying to broaden my circle outside my home, and sometimes find that a challenge, but I'm working on it. And even having a life and learning to have a life, and that's a beautiful thing, to have a life and learning to have fun and enjoying life itself, and travel and being out in the world. It's a beautiful thing. And another thing I like to say about having a positive way is learning to have an attitude of appreciation. I know a lot of people talk about an attitude of gratitude, but I love the attitude of appreciation, because when you have an attitude of appreciation, I don't know, it sinks more into your heart. You feel it more. You feel like it's a very personal nature, and life itself is more enriching in of itself, and it brings to a sense of well-being and where you want to go, and brings it's the difference between a chocolate pudding and a mousse. That much of a difference as far as I'm concerned. Gratitude is chocolate pudding, and appreciation is mousse. And I think that's a really good thing to think about as far as that's concerned. And when I find that if it's that much of a difference, I like to, do and have that instead. And then I have to be, rethinking about, times when we think about, victim mentality thinking. We get into the thinking sometimes people think of in the big book, which, I'm a firm believer in. It's the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I'm in a 12-step group myself. And that there's a thing in there about self-pity, and sometimes people, a victim mentality. People get caught up in a victim mentality, and that's what they live, and what they live all their lives. And believe me, if I had ever got caught up in victim mentality, I would not be here talking to you at all. I'd probably be in a mental ward and stuck in somewhere in a back hospital somewhere. Instead, I'm talking to you on Facebook Live. I'm well and alive, and I have a relationship, a home, and I am having a life and a business, and I'm going in that direction. And I have a lot of opportunities opening up for myself, and for me, that's a biggie. And that doesn't happen if I sit down and put a sign out, at some corner saying I'm going to work for food. I'm not putting anybody down for that, but at the same time, I would suggest that, okay, if I give you a job, are you going to work? I'll pay you. And then on several occasions, to those folks who say, "Well, we just want money," well, then I'll give you some referrals to some places where you can get food. But a lot of people think, the victim's mentality that everything is owed to them. But on the other hand, I rather choose life, rather have the life of choice in my life. And I know some folks out there would say, hey, but there's a lot of victims out there. Yeah, I've been a victim on many occasions, on many of times. But if I referred and stayed in a victim's mentality, I wouldn't have a home. I wouldn't have anything. But I made different choices. I decided to do something with my life. I may be retired, I may be this, I may be that, but I want to do something with my life. I want to have a life. And I think that's really, really important, to have a life of some sort and to be a contributing member of society. And I know there's a lot of folks who would disagree with me on that, but I think everybody be contributing member of society if they choose to, in whatever fashion that is. It doesn't matter if you're on disability or not. I think everybody can do something to help, even if it's something to volunteer to help another person. Because I think if we all did that, reach one, teach one, as far as I'm concerned, then we would all be a better society for it. Because I know in some of the old societies, even people who were not necessarily all there or whatever, were all included, and everybody gave something to the community. And that was such a beautiful thing. And we need to think about all that and be inclusive rather than exclusive, and putting people out into the outer spokes of society versus to the inner spokes, and look at ourselves as a wheel instead of as just spokes trying to thump along. And then we have to be willing to take risks as people and take leaps of faith and all these things. And I'm not talking about any of this in a negative sense. Is that I want you to look at this in a broader sense as far as positive energy. That, if you're willing to have an attitude of gratitude, release your victim thinking, and choose life, and be willing to take risks. There's always a certain amount of calculated risk in just living itself, or crossing the street, driving a car, or flying in a plane, or anything we do in life. And as far as I'm concerned, then we have a risk, or a risk. I in my home, a plane could fall from the sky and land on my house. There's a risk of that, or something from the heavens. But life itself is a risk, but you got to be willing to live it. And that's an important thing, is be willing to live it and take a leap of faith. And if you're willing to take a leap of faith, you never know what the rewards are going to be. And the rewards can be great. And yeah, sometimes we're going to stumble and fall. And believe me, I have stumbled and fallen more than you care to shake a stick at. But you're going to fail many times until you get it. I have a saying, you're going to try again until you get it. It may take many times till you get it. But you're going to be a great winner, even if you have to try many times till you get it. It's those people who keep at it till they win who are the true winners, is the way I look at it. And that comes from me. And as far as I'm concerned, those who have an attitude of appreciation, those who are willing to release their victim mentality and willing to choose life, those who are willing to take risk and willing to take leaps of faith, in my book, are true winners. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for life, blessings, peace, tranquility, love, compassion, hope, and let there be light in everybody's eyes tonight, and let you all have a life that you may ever want and dream of. Blessings to you all.